Hello viewers, wish you all a happy and Merry Christmas. So here you all could see the image of a Santa Claus cap. In this video, I would like to show you all the advanced SolidWorks 3D modeling of this cap. So this is the final completed 3D model of a Santa Claus cap. So let's begin with the 3D modeling in SolidWorks. First I choose the front plane to draw my first sketch. Then I select a rectangle and draw it on the right side of the origin. Then convert that rectangle into a construction. Then add some relations like horizontal. Then I choose center line and draw it vertically on the origin. Then I choose a smart dimension and add a dimension of about 190 mm diameter, considering the diameter of a human head as about 180 mm diameter. Then I just sketch and dimension slightly. Then once again start with smart dimension, add a vertical dimension for the rectangle of about 50 mm and width for that rectangle of about 12 mm. Then adjust the dimensions slightly and next thing, I want to start a new sketch tool called spline. Now I begin with a new sketch tool called spline and I start drawing the spline on that rectangle. I have drawn the spline approximately and add a line to close that profile. So and I have added some symmetric relation for the spline. Then start with a line and close that spline profile with the help of a line. Now start with the smart dimension, add some dimensioning for that closed profile of a spline and a line. I have added 10 distance on the top. Then I'm adjusting that spline handles to adjust the spline shape appropriately. Use that spline handle and made it vertical, that spline handle. Once again I'm looking for some spline handles and I took a smart dimension and added a dimension of about 23 to that spline handle to position that spline shape on the top almost appropriately, and similarly I'm doing on the bottom side that spline handle vertical. Then add a smart dimension, once again the same value on the bottom side. I have added about 23 mm on the bottom side. Then some dimensioning, okay, almost all dimensioning. Then I begin with the offset entities command. I have took 3 mm as offset distance and offsetted inside the whole profile of that spline along with the line. considering the around cotton or woolen thickness as 3 mm. It's approximate, not accurate. Okay, the first sketch is almost ready now. I have adjusted the dimensions and everything looks okay. So now I want to convert that sketch into a revolved a revolved boss base. So I started revolve command and I have chosen a center line at the origin as my axis of revolution. Then now it's done, full 360-degree revolve, and our Santa Claus cap base is ready. So Santa Claus cap base is ready. Now I initiated the section view command so that you can easily view the entire half cross section, the cotton or woolen thickness that you can visualize it. Here beginning with the second set of sketches for the cap. Here on the front plane, drawing a new sketch line, then center line to define the maximum height of the cap around 250 mm. Then spline tool from the sketch command. So here I am drawing a spline point by point to define the maximum outer shape of the cap, point by point moving towards right side. Here somewhere I would like to end that outer spline. Then I have selected the smart dimension to define dimensions for the first spline point. I have added a dimension of about 103 mm for the horizontal dimension, and similarly added a vertical dimension about it's about 77 mm. So similarly I have added all the other dimensions for the remaining splines points. So our top sketch is ready for the cap. Here you can see the finished sketch for the outer shape of that cap. Next, similarly, second sketch on the same front plane, added a line, and once again I have selected the spline tool. So here drawing a spline point by point, spline, second point, third point, fourth point. This sketch is to define the inner shape of that cap. Here where some bending occurs. So here one arc, I have added one arc here where that bending occurs on the cap, cloth of that cap. Then similarly adding dimensions to the first spline point there. Vertical dimension is about 83 mm for that first spline point, and vertical dimension is about 95 mm. So completed all other dimensions similarly, and once again selected spline and drawn the remaining portion of that inner sketch to define the cap shape. So our two curves are ready here, outer and inner, to define the cap shape, cap cloth shape properly. So next step is drawing the profiles The first profile is the circle at the bottom of that cap, which is coincides to the inner size, that's around 190 which is same as inner size of that cap. It's around 190 I have drawn the circle there, and similarly the circle for the other end, which is a smaller circle. So similarly I have added a circle here. It's around 26 diameter. So that completes the two profiles for our advanced command called lofted boss base. So using under loft, I have already started loft here. For profiles, I have selected first the bigger circle, then smaller circle, then I have to define the guide curves here. So under guide curves tab, so here I am trying to select the guide curves. So first I have selected the outer guide curve, and next the inner guide curve. So I am selecting one by one using that selection for that guide curves. So it completes the process, and now loft is done. So it defines the shape of that cap, and next using the shell command of about thickness of 1.5 I am giving a thickness to that top portion of the cap. I considered that cloth thickness is around approximately 1.5 so it's done this much. Only the third portion is pending now. So once again, beginning the sketch on the front plane, start a sketch there exactly on the right end, draw a circle and add some dimensions and trim it. Here I have added a semicircle of radius about 30 so then using revolve command that revolved it. So our Santa Claus cap almost done. So here so finally I would like to add some appearances onto this hat. So now to the bottom of the hat, it's a woolen or cotton. So I would like to add some white appearance to that, and also to the upper side of that cap. And for the middle portion, with the cotton with the red color, so I have already added appearance cotton with red color to the middle portion. And now you can see our channel name 3D Fully Design on the bottom of that cap. So now I am weaving the cap with the different orientations, view from the bottom side to the inside. Thanks a lot for watching. If you like the content, please like, share and subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos.